Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
I went online to become a private detective. It was a private detective school online, and I paid online. I never heard from them again. I thought to myself, I either got ripped off, or this is my first case. This is a journalistic podcast, Shannon. We vaccinate our listeners with answers. And I'm going to keep lip-syncing the important questions until TikTok gives me a show. Shannon, how can the moon landing be real if the moon itself is fake?
That's not true, Mike.
Oh, isn't it true, Shannon? You're fake. You're a hologram.
1 in 5 New Yorkers are food insecure. What's your solution for that, Mike?
Fortune cookie. Because that's food and advice at the same time. Shannon, at least have the decency to backstab me, okay? You stab me in the front every time. Some fans can't watch the podcast because they're triggered by our sexuality. And message to those fans, we will leak a sex tape right into your mouth.
This is Mike Vecchione Investigates.
And you're not better than me. Welcome to Mike Vecchione Investigates, everybody. Another great episode on tap for you. You're not better than me. You're not better than us. You're at home. You're on your high horse, but you're not better. And I'm glad we play that intro every time, Shannon, to remind people, get off your high horse. You're not better than us. No matter what you do or say, you're not better than us, okay? We're people too. We're people too. We're not cocky. We're just confident. And that's the way we're going into this episode. Now, I'm coming off a stint in Aruba, and a lot of you are like, Aruba again, Aruba again. Yes, the answer is Aruba again. There was journalistic reasons for me to be down there. I had to investigate things. An octopus has 8 arms. That's suspicious. Jellyfish are stinging people down there. The sand just kind of gets into everything, and no one ever talks about it. Everybody's, talking about other stuff going on in society right now. Bitcoin. It's like, how about the sand? How about the sand? It just gets in your shoe and stays there till Christmas. So we were down there doing some investigations, and when I come back from the islands, I don't know about you, Shannon, but I don't feel good around just regular New Yorkers. They feel kind of icky to me, and I need to be around other island people. And our guest today fits the bill because he's a fantastic comic, and he was down there performing also. He was down there working also. For those of you trying to catch me in a lie, he was down there working. And I said, Andy, do you want to hang out during the day? He's like, I have stuff to do. He probably had to get pods out. He was probably doing a TikTok. He was doing other stuff too. So it was a working vacation for this man too. But the reason I brought him in, besides being a friend and a fantastic comic, is that I just don't feel that good around just regular city people and continental people in the continental United States. I need to be around island people for a while before I kind of transition back into a mainland type person. So Andy Fiori is here, everybody. Welcome, Andy.
Hello. Thank you,
I don't know
Michael.
if you feel the same. Were you listening at all to my diatribe, or were you just staring off?
I was kind of daydreaming, but I picked up bits and pieces of it.
Okay.
Because I'm still on island mind.
Right. Island mind.
I'm not back at city mind yet.
Right. You hear everything in the background.
Yeah.
Everything's a meditation.
Everything's nice and ambient. I still have gulls.
Ambient is a big word for our listeners, and we like to, we don't just glaze over stuff and just graze over stuff, Shannon. That's tricky. We don't just like to go past stuff that our fans don't understand. So you said ambient, and I think we should bring that up as the first word of the day that might be tricky for a lot of our fans. Ambient, relating to immediate surroundings of something.
Yeah.
Ambient. It's the ambient.
It's the ambiance.
The ambiance. That's where that word comes from. So is the air ambient?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And the coffee is ambient?
Everything in this room.
It's tertiary.
Tertiary.
Could we bring that up, Shannon? Because a lot of our fans have just shut the podcast off because they're confused. They're so confused right now. Tertiary.
After secondary, I believe.
Third in order or level?
There you go.
Wow. Related to. Denoting. Kind of like ambient.
Yeah. I was going to go ancillary.
Ancillary
In that
is
same
also
vein.
tertiary and ambient.
Yes.
Wow. This has been a vocabulary lesson for a lot of our fans who never finished 7th grade. And we're all in this together, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm insulting the fans because Shannon gets very mad. She spikes my coffee. She's tried to poison me a couple times. But I want to make it sound like we're all in this together. And the reason I slow the podcast down, because sometimes we have high intellect guys come in like Andy, and they spew these words out, and another host would just go, yeah, we get it, and they're faking it, superficial. I stop it, I slow it down for the less than sharp fans, and we all get to learn together. Everybody gets to play. So, how was your time in the islands, Andy?
It was lovely.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
You had a great time?
I had such a good time. The weather was perfect. And I'm a big guy, Mike.
You're a big dude.
And sometimes I go down to these island countries.
Right.
And the heat is too much for me.
Yeah.
I'm a pale person as well.
Right.
I don't do well in the sun. I got to be very careful.
Yeah.
No, nothing doing in Aruba.
What number block did you wear? Let's see if we can outdo each other. What was your block?
My minimum is 50.
Minimum is 50.
That's where I don't leave the room unless there's 50 in the ambiance of my room.
In the ambiance of your room.
Exactly.
Thank you for bringing that back for us. Our fans need to learn, and if we just reinforce it, it really does help.
A lot of vocabulary for me, flashcards, repetition, so callbacks, if you will, you know.
Well, yeah, calling it back ambient.
I'll call it back a tertiary time as well. Just stay tuned.
A tertiary time.
Right.
And I'm not sure that's how you use it, but it's okay. Our fans don't know the difference.
Yeah, splitting hairs.
Splitting hairs. So you put on 50 at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Katie Hannigan, who was there, always tells me she makes sure I don't leave the room without putting it on. And she oscillates between that and telling me I'm dehydrated, which is fun. On vacation, it's like I like to hear that a lot. Yeah. That I'm dehydrated. So how was your hydration? I'm asking for Katie. She probably wants to know.
Yeah, well, you can report back that my hydration levels were good. I liked to refill my water bottle for environmental purposes.
Right.
I would buy one big water jug per day, and then I would refill it at the hotel.
Shannon, do we have hero music for Andy?
Yeah.
Because I think he's just indicating, he didn't say he was a hero, but I'm getting the implication, which is another huge word for our fans.
Big one.
But he's a hero. He refills his... He's not part of the problem.
No.
He's making... His footprint is probably big because he's a big guy, but he's making it small. He's making a smaller footprint.
Yeah.
Because he's reusing his own water jug.
Sure.
Is that what you said?
I have
I'm having trouble understanding regular things.
No. Island mind.
Island mind.
I think I have a bacterial infection in my stomach now,
right,
because of the island water. They told me it was safe.
Yes.
But maybe it was the reusing of the garbage I was drinking out of.
You drinking out of garbage.
Yeah.
Drinking out of garbage, which I think is another Is it another podcast?
Are you garbage?
Okay.
That's our.
Drinking out of garbage. No, but I thought somebody broke off from that podcast and did drinking out of garbage, which is probably a fun.
Frasier
podcast.
to Cheers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. A spinoff.
Right.
I just spilled water in the
Keeping on theme.
I got nervous. Andy's really he's sharp, and we have an accident we have a spill.
But the response time
have a spill.
is slow.
Shannon is the first responder. Shannon is everything. And when Lewis comes in here, it's probably going to be a spin kick to the throat, which is how we discipline people here at Gas Digital. And it's going to be live streamed, of course, because we fight people, but for public viewing. Okay, so Andy, this has been amazing so far. I think we're having a great episode.
I think so too.
And we're 8 minutes in.
Illuminating.
It's illuminating.
Yeah. It's all this Wordle. It's Wordle.
Wordle.
It's infected the populace.
It's populace and infected for our fans. Don't know what that is.
Nothing below 4 syllables for you and I.
Right.
For the rest of the way.
Okay. So you put sunblock on.
Yeah.
You are a big guy. I want to talk about the fact that you're a big guy on a small island.
Yeah.
Do people look at you like you're a giant?
I stand out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Does it help you? Or does it hurt you with the ladies and with
Here's the thing.
Are they afraid of you?
The Arubans, lots of couples down there.
Yes.
You and your lady.
Right.
A lot of families. So going out on the town at night wasn't really attracting much of a singles vibe. from the locals anyway.
Right.
So I don't know if my size had anything to do with that.
But don't you think that people like you, the small island people, could see you and go, oh, he could get mangoes for us.
Yes.
He could get coconuts for us.
Yeah.
And,
I think I'd
and then,
jolly.
Yeah, offer you a job down there as a resident giant, I guess would be the
Sure.
job title.
I would scare children
Yes.
into doing their chores and homework.
Right.
I could become mythic.
Yeah,
almost.
you're mythic. You are mythic. I was
Yeah.
going to say that.
Thank you.
And so you're a giant guy in a small island. Does the beard, how long have you had it? Ever since I've known you, I think you've had a beard.
Yeah.
And what's the reason behind? Because you've had a lot of bearded guests. Shannon, back me up here.
That's correct.
A lot of
Yeah.
guests with beards. And I think during the wintertime, men especially grow beards. And I can't figure out why, because I'm pretty clean shaven.
You're a pretty clean-shaven guy. I'll tell you, it does make a difference wind-wise.
Keeps the wind off your face.
Keeps the wind off your face. Here's another thing people don't think about in the summer, beard guys. Keeps the sun off your face. This pork chop section of my face never gets
Doesn't
sunburned.
it itchy?
You get used to it.
You get used to it.
You get used to it just like anything else.
There's a whole TikTok for bearded women who love beards.
Oh.
Yeah, there's
That's
a whole
my demo.
TikTok. It is your demo.
I'm sorry, demographic.
Demographic, which is huge. Thank you for illuminating.
I didn't want to dumb it down.
Thank you illuminating. Thank you for illuminating that for the fans. So a beard is a necessity. You've had it since the 70s?
For this face, yes. I was born in 1979, and I've since day one.
Day one
since
beard.
June 5th.
But do you find that it keeps the COVID and all the variants in?
It keeps them in, tucked in.
Yes.
And because at night, I'm a side sleeper.
Right.
So my face is constantly on my pillows, and I keep turning back and forth, back and forth. So if I do ever have a lady come over, and she's on one of the pillows, you're getting infected.
Yes.
With maybe one or more than 2 variants, if not a social disease.
Wow.
Yeah, I just wanted people to know what they're in store for.
That's pretty great that you're honest.
Is that why you guys left Astoria?
We left Astoria because of the beards. More people were growing beards. Anthony DeVito.
Yeah.
Soder has a beard now.
Yeah.
You have a beard. It's like people start growing their hair out, and it starts being intimidating to people with no facial hair. And I'm like, oh, what's happening here? And it's like...
what is this, Woodstock?
Is it Woodstock where it's like you guys are north of the wall, and I'm in King's Landing emotionally, and it's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Beards
it feels
Watch.
like it's a plot. It's kind of a plot. So just you mentioned having a lady over and going to sleep. For people who watch this podcast who are 8 years old and under, what's your bedtime?
My bedtime is 1:30 a.m.
1:30 a.m.
Yeah.
But he's an adult out there. Listen, he's an adult. He has work and responsibilities, and he's able to go to bed at 1:30 a.m. That's not for you. That's not for you, our fans. Sometimes our younger fans.
Get your 8 hours, kids.
Get your 8 hours of sleep.
Especially when you're a youngster.
Are you a big sleep guy?
Big sleeper.
As a giant.
As a giant.
All the Arubans must go, oh, you must be sleep.
Yes.
You must be a big sleep guy.
In fact, some of them say that the rhythmic breathing, possible sleep apnea, is mythic.
It's mythic.
Call back to them.
It's a callback to mythic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it actually helps their sleeping on the island because it's ambient.
It's ambient.
Yeah, for
and
them.
mythic. How do you pay for stuff on the island because they think you're a giant with beans?
Yeah, it's mostly a barter system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. Now, in the other room behind the protected glass, we have 2 lovely and capable ladies. They're very capable. They're not
Strong.
they're not just beautiful, which I'm not allowed to say anymore. They're capable, and and women can be astronauts now. I don't know if you got them. You watched the Super Bowl last year, the commercials.
But
women can
Challenger
be
was the last one I remember seeing.
Okay,
I don't know if we've made progress.
Go south, but there was not a woman
I didn't keep
driving.
up with the story.
There
Mike.
was not a woman
I
driving.
didn't keep up with the story.
Let me just cut you off at the pass, Andy. There was not a woman driving there. And we have 2 very capable women, and they're doing tech jobs, and that's a thing now, women in tech. So get used to it. And they both went to the another island, Jamaica. So we're 2 island guys. We're in here. We're the talent. They're very beautiful and capable behind the scenes, but they went to Jamaica. And I just want to know, they hear us talking about Aruba, if they have side conversations about their island that they went to and that maybe they had a better time than we did.
We probably did have
I was talking to Andy, Shannon.
I don't understand why you would cut in there.
Sorry.
I just don't get it.
Give him an inch.
Right? I just don't understand it. So do you think, like, behind the scenes, Andy, that they talk about their island and it's like, oh, we had a better time,
Yes, we do.
Shannon, edit that out. Shannon, edit it out. I'm trying to talk to my guest right now, Shannon. And Andy, do you think that they do that?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a sewing circle.
Yeah.
What would talk?
Right.
You know?
And
Gossipy.
Jamaica is not better than Aruba, is it?
I don't. I've never been to Jamaica.
Yeah.
By choice.
I wouldn't go.
By choice.
I wouldn't go either. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. That would be maybe my tertiary selection of islands.
And that means secondary.
Yeah.
A secondary or a third selection.
Minimum.
A minimum.
Aruba, number one on my list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think they talk about
I'd go to Florida first.
Mike, it's a very technological age, as you brought up.
Right.
We all know what we're doing via social media.
Yes.
And I'm sure they saw our adventures in Aruba. We saw theirs.
I'm convinced that Shannon is stalking me. Every time I go to an island, she goes to an island.
Yeah.
And she only goes for 48 hours, but she still goes to an island. And she had to get a diabetic cat. I mean, there's a whole backstory to how Shannon that's how much she wants to go to an island. And I feel like she's trying to match me every time I go for an island. There's some kind of a weird competitive thing happening here. But I saw them. I saw the videos, and I saw all the stuff. And I just did. Do you think that they think they had a better time than we did?
I think they do. I came in, before the show, just saying hi to everybody.
Yeah,
and it
you had to
felt
buzz
like,
a couple times to get in.
a couple
right?
times, first of all.
And do you think that was? I don't think that was an accident.
Let him stay out in the cold.
Right.
You know,
Aruban.
Yeah,
Aruban.
And also interesting, you brought up diabetic cats, because I believe that's what the Aruban children, as my myth grows, is that's how they think I feed.
Yes.
On that. That's my very diet.
You eat diet. Sugarless cats.
Yeah.
Is how you eat.
Low fat.
Low fat. We'll go to you guys now. We are ready to talk about your experience on the islands of Jamaica, Natalie and Shannon. And it was supposedly a work thing. Sometimes I'm ready to come here, and I think that the whole studio might have been moved to Jamaica.
It was close.
Yeah.
If the internet was a little better, we probably would have.
And we did a live Instagram.
We tried. Our internet was so bad.
Ours was bad, too.
Yeah. But we had a great time. The weather was great the whole time.
Yeah.
Everyone got along. For me, the only negative was I almost died. I almost drowned.
What happened, Shannon?
So we went cliff diving.
Real ass cliff diving?
Yes. And I'm not like a strong swimmer. I don't love the idea of having to jump and like clear the rock that's like jumping out of the wall.
Yeah.
And the water is really cold.
That sounds like you're not a strong jumper.
None of that. I'm not a strong
swimming. You put the cart before the horse there.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a strong
Swimming's your ancillary problem.
Ancillary problem. Andy is calling it back today. It's really a lesson for our fans.
So everybody else jumped. So I was like, I'm not going to be the only one, especially it's the first cliff and they just get higher as we go.
Right.
So
with marijuana?
Another solid one, Andy.
So
I know that crowd.
Yes, that crowd.
They run with.
Yes.
And climb with, apparently.
Or CBD.
No,
which
there was
is
none of that.
What's that?
There was none of that.
There was none of that?
There was so much weed.
Oh.
So much weed. So eventually, after like several minutes of me trying to get my guts up to finally jump, I jumped with water shoes on. I feel like that's important to know because we're climbing through the jungle. Mm-hmm. And so I jumped and you go down pretty far when you first jump in. And then I came back up and then I went down for a second and then I struggled to get my head above the water and I said, help me. And then I just went down because I realized I couldn't get my head above water.
Right.
And I waited and I waited for someone to save me.
Right.
And it took what felt like forever. And then eventually one of the Jamaican guides that was walking us through the woods dragged me out of the water, not with my head above the water.
Is Jamaican guide code for Gas Digital intern? Thank you.
No, because nobody from Gas Digital did anything to help me.
Right.
They didn't do anything.
They didn't do a live stream or an emergency podcast about Shannon's death?
So then they dragged me out of the water and I lived, but it was close. I feel like I was 3 seconds away from having to inhale water.
Oh my God, Shannon, that's near death.
Yeah.
That's near death experience. Mm-hmm. And Natalie, did you have a similar experience?
I was one of the few people on this trip who did not have a near death experience.
Okay. What did you do? Did you party? Did you hook up?
Nope. No, I'm in a committed relationship.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
When did this happen?
With,
and why?
With the sea?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
And how are you in a committed relationship without the blessing of this show?
I don't know. It's just never come up.
How long has this been going on? And I think that's a song. How long has this been go? I feel like you're cheating on this podcast.
I'm so
Shannon
sorry
never
for
even
not
said anything
telling you
either.
earlier.
You guys probably have sleepovers, and you're like, "Don't tell Mike. Don't tell Mike. He'll get upset." And I will get upset, and I am getting upset.
Rightly so.
Yeah, and I have the manpower in here to do something about
Absolutely.
it. You're grounded, young lady.
No. All right, I don't want to give you another curveball, but I have a girlfriend.
Get
Another
out.
Boyfriend.
Oh, my Lord.
You have a girlfriend and a boyfriend?
I wish.
Thruple?
No.
Which is a word people are using now for some reason? Thruple?
No, I'm not that cool.
You have a girlfriend.
I have a girlfriend, yeah.
We support alternative lifestyles on this podcast.
That's why
but
I work here.
We do not support secrets.
I'm sorry.
So-
It won't happen again. That being
It's not
said,
gonna
no, I
happen
did not
again.
hook up on this trip.
What's that?
I did not hook up on this trip.
Okay. Well, I have to check for by the Gas Digital Constitution, which I think we have one. All right, guys, I want to take a second to talk about our friends over at rockauto.com. Hey there, auto mechanics and super cool do-it-yourself guys who work on their own cars. I want to tell you about rockauto.com, the online store with every auto part at the best prices. This is your one-stop shop for everything auto parts. RockAuto.com has been in business for 20 years, and they make it easy to find the parts you need at the best possible prices. No more talking to counter guys who need to order your parts, aren't really sure what you're looking for, never have quite what you need, and then after all the hassle will still charge you storefront markups. At RockAuto.com, you can easily find everything you need, and whether you're a mechanic, an auto shop, or working on your own car, everyone has access to the same incredible pricing at RockAuto.com. So if you're a car guy, right now go to RockAuto.com and check out all the parts available for your car. You're going to have so much fun looking at car parts. So once more, go to RockAuto.com. No promo code needed as their pricing is already that good. When you order, make sure to tell RockAuto.com that you heard about them on Mike Vecchione Investigates. RockAuto.com. All right, guys, let's get back into it. This podcast has been off the rails. Andy, you've been the only thing keeping us to task. And I think we've referenced our fans a bunch, and the fact that we're in a separate room than they're in, and we went to a separate island, and they went to another island. I think it's not lost on our fans, and they get it now, and they're overcoming the shock of it. But a lot of our fans, Shannon and I go back and forth about this argument. They struggle with everyday activities. We had to over-explain the words to them, which seems probably weird to a high-intellect guy like you. Okay. But to the fans, we have to break it down for them. Our fans struggle a lot. So I wrote up some affirmations, and if you don't mind, I'd like to just sit here, and we pre-recorded them because we don't want to shock the fans, and but we want to help them. So if we could just sit here and listen to these affirmations. These are for the fans who are struggling out there, and they need our help.
Very nice service.
Some of them are not high intellect. Some of them are low functioning, and we're here to help, Shannon, because we're all a family, and we love you guys, and we appreciate you listening. Here are the affirmations. Let's go ahead and have a great show. I will get out of bed today. I will get out of bed today. I will get out of bed today. Action figures are plastic. They are not real people. Action figures are plastic. They are not real people. Action figures are plastic. They are not real people. Having a beer can collection is not a thing anymore. Having a beer can collection is not a thing anymore. Having a beer can collection is not a thing anymore. You have high blood pressure because of your diet, not because you are a Scorpio. You have high blood pressure because of your diet, not because you are a Scorpio. You have high blood pressure because of your diet, not because you are a Scorpio. Technology is not the enemy. Your passwords are your friends who protect you. Technology is not the enemy. Your passwords are your friends who protect you. Technology is not the enemy. Your passwords are your friends who protect you. Painting your face like the ultimate warrior is not more important than doing your taxes. Painting your face like the ultimate warrior is not more important than doing your taxes. Painting your face like the ultimate warrior is never more important than doing your taxes. Naming your sex doll does not make her your girlfriend. Naming your sex doll does not make her your girlfriend. Naming your sex doll does not mean you have a girlfriend. Okay. I think we're ready to have a great show. And those are just affirmations for our fans. They need them.
Very enlightening.
It's very enlightening. And enlightening is another big word. But let's go right to the schedule that we have. We have a lot to get to today, Andy. I want to.
All right.
There is a super yacht. I don't know. We like to keep up with the news. We usually do fan questions first, but we're switching it up today to throw our fans off. And can we bring up the super yacht article, Shannon? Because we both have been to the islands, and these rich people, jaw-dropping 480-foot super yacht that can be submerged in water sets sail. Wow. That's unbelievable. A jaw-dropping 480-foot super yacht that can be submerged in water and boasts an open... What is it, Shannon? Boasts an open-air tennis court set sail after a 3-year conversion.
Oh.
Can you make it bigger, Shannon? I can't see.
What conversion to... Is that like a transformation?
A transformation as such.
Like maybe a Catholic to a Jewish conversion?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Except the article was vague on that.
Except with boats.
Right.
Let's go back to the article. The unique vesicle named OK, that's a short name for a big boat, began its life as a yacht transportation ship in Japan in 1982. It's younger than you, Andy.
Yes.
You said 79.
Yes.
Before work began to transform into a semi-submersive yacht at the Karamin shipyard in Turkey. Exterior designer Timur Bozka, who won the Young Designer of the Year award, God, I wanted that, in 2015 said, OK has the ability to submerge almost 70% of itself. And how do they do tennis? Underwater? Underwater tennis?
I got a lot of questions.
I mean, it's huge. The problems are huge with this big boat.
Lots of problems. Okay. Myriad of problems.
Okay, a myriad.
Yes. First of all, I think the name OK would get confusing.
Right.
It's a word I say a lot as an affirmation.
Yes.
Affirmation.
Affirmations.
Just as in a positive, I go,
right.
Hey, Andy, are you going to go down to the underwater tennis court today? I'm going to go, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that could create a Three Stooges, like, who's on first.
Yes, and then I get my eyes poked out, and it's...
Yes. That's a great point. Shannon, we could put the article back. The vessel, which is another word for a boat, for those of you out there trying to follow along, described as an underwater island, has room to carry a 46-meter sail yacht and seaplane and is estimated to be worth $40 million. You got that laying around, $40 million.
That's a yacht on a yacht. I'm doing okay.
Look at the fans.
I'm doing Aruba okay.
Okay.
See how many times we've already said okay?
Yes.
People are now going, are they talking about the yacht?
Boat? Yeah. It's confusing.
Very confusing.
I think they do it on purpose. I think that's coded for rich people.
Yeah.
People in a certain tax bracket.
You know why?
Why?
Maritime law.
That's true.
They don't have to worry about these the language rules that apply to you and me.
Yes.
Or you and I. I'm sorry.
How do you say it?
Shannon?
Portside?
I think that one's you and me because it has to work the same way without the other person.
Well, we know you have problems swimming, so I don't trust anything.
How dare you, Andy?
Was that a suicide attempt, Shannon?
No.
Were you looking for somebody from Gas Digital to save you?
It would have been nice.
Yeah.
If someone would have saved
Not
me.
very team building.
That's right.
Exercise.
That was supposed to be a team building exercise, Andy.
I thought the whole trip was for team building and morale.
Yeah. And morale is submerged, apparently.
No, morale. Yeah, he's an intern. Morale. Right.
Morales.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I always
Lewis's cousin.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to this boat. Our fans need the news,
Okay.
Andy. They need the news. I'm sorry. You're high intellect.
No, I'm talking about the yacht. See?
Okay. Damn it, there's misunderstandings. This is rife with misunderstandings. It was originally built in 82. Didn't we do that already?
No, it's kind of
It was originally
repeating.
built in 82. Semi-submersive yacht transportation ship that has been transformed into an expedition vessel. It's an expedition.
Mike, I don't care for the
Expose?
aesthetics of the yacht. It looks a little...
Because there's a tennis court in there? Why
looks-
do you hate tennis courts?
It looks clunky.
Yeah, it does look. It looks... Well, you have to have room to land a helicopter and a small plane, I think. I think they said that. You have to have room to land... How am I supposed to get to the boat? If the boat's already sailing, I'm late for it. I have to have my chopper take me to it, and it's got to land somewhere, Andy.
Yeah, well, that's probably why you didn't win Young Designer of the Year in 2015.
Young
That would have been a nice piece
Young
for the
designer.
mantle.
I would have settled for just young. Okay, the vessel's submerging capacity enables it to sink to the middle platform of the boat in order to allow cargo to be carried just above.
Now we're talking.
Cargo.
Now we're getting somewhere.
But as a luxury boat, why do you need cargo? I guess bling.
You have a lot of bling.
Watches and shoes.
Yes.
To bring your
That Shannon wears sea shoes
Shannon does
for
wear
climbing
sea
in the
shoes.
jungle.
Yes.
Which doesn't seem like the appropriate footwear. But what do I know? I'm an Aruban guy, not Jamaica.
That's true.
It might have to be backwards.
Shannon, did they call you the Jungle Cat? Shannon the Jungle Cat Lee?
No, maybe because don't cats like not like the water?
Yes.
That might work.
Correct.
And they, a lot of them have diabetes and need 1 pill a day wrapped in their food.
No, it's 2 injections a day, Mike.
2 injections?
Yikes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just goes away?
Yes.
Just like the article. Just went away.
I think Shannon's being a bad girl in there
I'm
on
not
purpose.
doing it.
There are a lot of visual puns
She's
here.
being a bad girl
Yeah.
on purpose. She's taking the article away. It's reappearing.
Yep.
Natalie's living an alternative lifestyle. We didn't know about it. But we support it. We support it. Designed with enhanced internal strength. Internal strength, Andy? How's
That's-
your core
Yeah,
strength?
core. That's important.
Right.
Planking and such is, I guess, what the ship was designed around.
Do you do planks every day?
No. Should I?
I mean, I was going to challenge you to a plank off, but now there's no point if you don't plank. I mean, it's going to be a waste of our time.
I haven't planked outside of the meme variant of planking.
Yeah.
Do you remember when planking was a popular meme?
Yeah,
2015.
2015.
Yeah, big year. Young
Big year
designer
for planking.
and planking. Very popular meme. That was the last time I did it with any sort of consistency.
Okay, well, why did you stray from the planking
Hurts the
lifestyle?
core. Hurts my core.
Yeah. And designers with enhanced internal strength. This is big on both vessels and for men over the age of 40. The vessel, which has enough room to carry a 150-foot sailing yacht and a seaplane, can handle both stern and side loading.
Stern. Not port
Oh,
or starboard. Stern. Shannon?
stern.
Is that the front? Stern?
Hold on, I gotta look
Tell
it
it to me in a serious, almost stern manner, Mike.
Oh my God.
Okay, stern of the boat is the back of the boat.
The back of the boat.
All right.
I mean, why are all these nautical terms? These nautical people are so cocky, man. The stern of the boat, the port
Yeah.
side.
What's wrong with
Yeah.
right, left, front,
Yeah.
back?
Knots per hour. It's like, come on, dude. Choppy.
I'll never
Who do
understand
you think
the
you
sea.
are?
I'll never
Who do you
understand
think
it.
you are? And that boat has all these different ways to load it on, but what about, I want the luxury aspects of the boat, you know?
Sure.
Kind of like a Pimp My Ride,
That's nice.
except with a boat,
Yeah.
you know?
MTV yachts.
They did all the functional parts of the boat, but they didn't do anything. They mentioned the tennis courts. It's like,
Yeah.
I want to see the tennis courts.
What about the sound system?
Yeah.
What kind of bass boost does
Right.
this yacht have?
And the DJ quarters.
Exactly.
They should have a golf course on it.
Golf course
You know?
does seem like it would be
At least a
appropriate.
miniature course, you know?
Not everybody likes tennis.
Bocce.
Bocce.
For the grease balls,
Yeah.
which I can say. I'm allowed to say it.
Fiori.
Fiori also.
Vecchione.
So that's the super yacht article. I figure it was good because we were. Did you go on the boat when we were in Aruba?
I did.
Okay.
Not a super yacht.
Right.
Might not have even been a regular yacht.
Right.
Might have been more of a pontoon.
It was a dinghy.
Dinghy.
Right. Which is not sexual. But it's from Naked Gun. It's great. He goes, "Do you want to take a dinghy?" He's like, "I took care of that back at the station." Means he went to the bathroom.
Classic.
Pretty classic. Anyway, that was a super yacht, and this is the next article. And this
Mike,
is
can I first of all? I
sure.
had a super time. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Reviewing that article with you about the super yacht, I had a super time.
That was a great time.
Yeah,
a super time. Okay. Okay was the name of the boat. But we have to go from that, which is more of a vacation story, to this is a story about security. Nervous chicken caught at Pentagon checkpoint. And this thing, everybody's all talking about celebrities and who got their butt done and who did what to who in relationships and who was at the Knicks game and who did this. Nervous chicken caught at Pentagon checkpoint. These chickens are infiltrating our security. And they named the chicken. Obviously, that's what you have to do when a chicken breaks national security. Thank you, Shannon.
Can I ask a preliminary
Shannon
question?
Has to make it bigger because I refuse to go to the eye doctor.
Yeah,
sure.
well.
What's the preliminary question?
I'm curious about his state of nerves. Is he nervous because he was on a mission and got caught?
Right.
Or do you think he was nervous because he was going to be dinner or some such?
I think he might just have anxiety. Like
Okay.
that's a normal thing in society now, having anxiety and needing to take anti-anxiety medication. Mysterious intruder was found at the Department of Defense security checkpoint earlier this week, and foul play.
Oh boy.
There's foul because it's a bird. Is suspected. Apparently, the answer to why did the chicken cross the road?
That's two.
As comics, are you insulted by that?
No, I appreciate the effort.
The effort, yeah. Is to get to the Pentagon. An animal welfare group, this group is a terrorist group because they're taking the animal side.
Yeah.
Tweeted for the bird that the bird was spotted near the building. The chicken was caught sneaking around the security area at the Pentagon. The Animal Welfare League of Arlington said it was taken into custody with a side of mashed potatoes and coleslaw, I hope, right?
Custard.
By a league employee. For actual security reasons, we are not allowed to disclose the exact location, league spokesperson Chelsea Jones said. What is this? Was the chicken a spy, Andy, in your opinion, or just nervously wandering, no sense of direction?
I'm going to one-up you and go, I think it might have been some sort of drone tactic.
Right. Not a real chicken.
Possibly armed.
Oh, my God.
It very well might have been a real chicken.
Right.
Much like somebody's organs get harvested.
Yeah.
You can maybe implant some sort of, I don't want to say maybe a TNT style Acme cartoon scenario.
And you thought the chicken was going to blow up?
I think so.
Oh, my God.
What date was this story, Shannon? Can you scroll up?
It was yesterday. I think everything is pretty current on it.
Oh.
February 4th.
2/4.
2/4.
We're going to be saying that like 9/11 soon. Remember?
Well, do you think that this was a misdirection to take our attention off of Groundhog Day?
Wow.
Like a groundhog doesn't predict the weather correctly, and then all of a sudden a chicken is trying to break national security. It's not clear where the chicken believed to be a Rhode Island Red came from. Are those the most problematic chickens? A Rhode Island Red?
Yeah.
Jones describes the bird as beautiful and nervous, kind of like a supermodel. She says the chicken has been adopted by a league member who has a small farm in Virginia. What was the league member's name? Osama bin Laden?
Yeah.
Crazy. After the bird was found Monday, the league asked people online to suggest names. This seems like a cute thing. Suggestions include Colonel Sanderson, Henrietta Kissinger, and Chick Cheney. But the league eventually settled on Henny Penny after the folk tale character who thought the sky was falling.
Good. Don't go political.
The sky is falling.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think this bird was trying to infiltrate the country's national security.
Rhode Island Red.
Shannon, I think it's fun to read some of the comments sometimes. Can you access them? Because people have a lot of interesting things to say. Have you ever read your YouTube comments, Andy, while Shannon is pulling it up?
I choose not to.
But sometimes it's fun to find out what an ass clown you are. This is not a hen, it's a human transitioned to a chicken. That's your theory, isn't it?
Okay, that was one of mine.
Laugh my LMAO. Would love to have a time-lapse camera and see the pictures of the guy's face that adopted her every time he checks for eggs. and there are none, it would only get funnier as the days turned into months.
Bleak.
Wow, this guy is long-winded. Did anyone check for devices?
Thank you.
There, Andy. I'm sure it was scout testing security. That's yours thing.
Russians.
Was it? What is it? A Chinese chicken?
No.
Chicken Henny Penny is a perfectly named symbol for the skittish and clueless imbeciles that run hysterically about the nation's capital. That is a political slam. As a child living on a Mississippi cotton farm, we also had chickens. Oh my God. This person is the person where you're in a conversation with them. I'm not even going to read the rest of it.
Yeah.
Where you go, I have internal bleeding. Just you have to make something up.
Right.
I can't stay. I have internal bleeding. Like I have to leave the conversation.
Yes.
That's cock-a-doodle don't.
Oh,
which I think is a great joke.
Yeah.
It may be a flight of fancy, but the drums of war are sounding. I think we should just wing it. That guy's great.
This guy, hey.
That is one brave chicken. I'd like to invite her to Sunday dinner. Sounds like a trick.
It does sound very tricky.
You know.
Boz O'Clown. Write that name down, Shannon.
Do you like chicken, Andy?
I do.
To eat, not
protein,
as a pet.
very
Not as a pet.
nutritious. Yes.
And Shannon, as a vegan, how does his words strike you?
I don't love it,
Yeah.
but
Do you think less of them now?
A little bit, but that's something that was just in Aruba. That's something they would say.
That's something an Aruban giant would say?
Yeah.
Well, if you've ever had chicken in Aruba, you would know why I eat it so much.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
And the spices they used.
Oh. Jerk chicken?
Jerked.
That's what
And that's not
what
dirty.
Shannon sounds like right now. Jerk chicken.
Shannon's a vegan. She's a very proud vegan. I knew this article was going to make her nervous. As nervous as the chicken that we just spoke of. 40 minutes in. Okay, the way I run this podcast, Andy,
Yacht?
is we escalate. We went from a yacht, which is more of a vacation article,
Okay.
to a nervous chicken, which is infiltrating Homeland Security. Now we get racial.
Oh, boy.
Mayor calls white cops crackers.
Yikes.
In article. Let's play the video, Shannon. Our mayor of New York. Okay.
Adams for an inappropriate comment he made back in 2019 about white police officers. Video was made public today.
CBS 2 political reporter Marsha Kramer investigated the incident and spoke to the person who posted the video.
Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. I was unbelievable in the police department.
A furor tonight over the sudden posting on social media of a racially charged comment made by Eric Adams during a December 2019 appearance at the Harlem Business Alliance. The man who posted the video, Thomas Lopez Pierre of the Black Lives Matter real estate firm, told me that he purposely picked the clip he posted, which was in the middle of a half-hour appearance by the mayor.
Why did you pick that specific point to start your clip?
Because we live in a social media world, and I knew it would be attention grabbing.
Thomas Lopez Pierre also telling me he didn't release video of the appearance at the time because he thought it would hurt Eric Adams' chances of being elected mayor. He moved now, he said, because he thinks Adams has been spending too much time talking about hiring more cops and not about improving the economic health of minority communities.
And all I've been hearing is cops this, cops that. You know, listen, Black people have been getting killed. There have been more Black people killed this year than police officers. Police officers decided to put on a uniform. They decided to take the risk.
Lopez Pierre, whose brother was killed by an off-duty cop during a carjacking, is no stranger to controversy. Running for city council in 2017, he tried to use $100,000 in taxpayer dollars taken from public campaign matching funds to spread anti-Semitic hate attacks against his opponent, Councilman Mark Levine. Late today, Adams apologized.
Inappropriate comments should not have been used. Someone asking me a question using that comment and playing on that word, I responded in that comment. But clearly, it's a comment that should not be used, and I apologize not only to those who heard it, but to New Yorkers because they should expect more from me, and that was inappropriate.
Okay, Shannon, let's cut it, and let's get right to it. Andy, I'm going to ask you straight out.
Yes.
As a cracker, do you accept his apology?
I do.
Yeah. Me too.
You know what upset me more than anything in that video? Leslie, the reporter's hoarder-like levels of her home appearance on camera. That's what upset me the most.
I mean, what's she doing? She's stacking stuff in her apartment.
Yeah.
You don't have to save everything, Leslie. That's what I get from it too. You know, I didn't notice it like you. I'm just commenting on your comment.
I mean, look at
stacking. Oh yeah, she's
credentials everywhere.
Clean some of that out. I mean,
Thomas Pierre Lopez has a cleanly.
He has a clean apartment, and it's pretty tidy.
I'm sorry, I said Thomas Lopez Pierre. I said it reversed, backwards.
That's more a learning disability than it is racial.
Like dyslexia.
It's dyslexia. They reverse things.
Yeah.
And but as a cracker, so I think as a cracker, what kind of? Not all crackers are the same. For those of you listening, it's there's different kinds of crackers. And what kind of cracker would you be if you had to choose?
I think. Have you ever had a stoned wheat thin? It's not a. It's yeah.
In Aruba, did you notice they had weird crackers over there?
I did not have.
Yeah, they had the weird Dutch crackers.
Very Dutch influenced country.
I can't eat Dutch crackers. It just makes me feel like a traitor to this country.
Sure. What separates the Dutch cracker from a normal?
It's made by Dutch.
Okay.
They're little Dutch hands.
So that's
that
just the production.
Yeah, the production of it, and it's weird names and weird marketing. Could you bring up a Dutch cracker, Shannon?
Yeah, I'm offended by what you're saying about the Dutch people.
Are you, Shannon?
Yes.
You're supposed to be a fellow Italian.
But I'm also, my last name is Dutch.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're not from there, Shannon. You're from Staten Island, which is not a Dutch colony.
Staten Island, Mike. I'm from
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, actually.
You just can't wait to correct me today. You can't wait to correct me. And I think it's the island thing that's really got her. Oh, suddenly you can't find it?
No, I'm seeing a bunch. I'll show you the screen and you tell me which one.
Oh, yeah. It's not that. It's saltine.
I don't know. Saltine was Dutch.
Yeah, it wasn't saltine. It was another kind of cracker, but they just look. Oh, those LU, those crackers.
Oh,
what are they called? LU mini crackers, olive oil. Those actually look kind of tasty.
Sounds great.
Those look delicious.
But they're not because I've had them, and they're tricks. It's trick crackers. So, Andy, if you'll allow me, I think you kind of look like if I was going to call you a cracker, which I can.
Sure.
Because we're both whites.
Yeah.
But you would be more like a sour cream and onion.
Cracker.
I
didn't know.
Sour cream and onion is what you would be.
It's more of a spread or a chip.
Well, it's a chip now. Chips aren't enough with marketing and with crackers. The dip is already in the chip. Like you used to have to dip the chip in something. Now the chip, because there's so many. What do you call it? What do you call those things that preservatives? There's so many preservatives in the chip now that they try to make it as tasty as possible, but it also
diverse is what I'm hearing.
Diversity.
Yeah,
I'm writing it down. But you would be a sour cream and onion, and I think I would be a Ritz cracker. I'm like high level.
Yeah, see how you put like the best one you give to yourself.
Yes. Did you notice that?
I went. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Because it seemed
and
like
what were you
really
feeling about that? Do you think sour cream and onion is a good chip?
Yeah, it seemed like mine was more like descriptive or about my looks, where you just went top of the line cracker. Right. It really doesn't have anything to do with your looks. You just quality of.
You're being a little salty about this. Saltine about this. So, but cracker does not bother me as long as the city runs great. If the city runs great and crime is down and he's a great mayor, you can call me a cracker all day long.
Goddamn right.
Call me a Ritz, though, because this is a high-level cracker.
If he qualified it with your brand of cracker?
Yes. That would make a difference, Andy. That's a great angle.
And these are
you guys are crackers, but like calling the cops crackers is not good because the cops are your army as a mayor. So... But just calling regular whites crackers is like, you guys are crackers. But your Ritz crackers,
I'll take a
delicious.
Triscuit.
Yes,
I'll take a
Triscuit. That's not even crackers. That feels like it's some kind of a soft wood.
Yeah, it does feel like
maybe a basket.
A barrel of
You could make a basket. Yeah, sticks. I just need to spill water on myself. This is the second time I've spilled water on myself. I'm not perfect, guys. Okay? We're talking about these racially loaded stories, and it's high pressure.
Well, you're fired up.
I didn't even realize a Triscuit. That's for like nature. Thank you, Shannon. You know, you're so loyal. Even though you hate me right now, because I insulted the Dutch, which are another brand of cracker. Now he apologized, and
he did, and he looked good doing it.
He did look good, except the thing that was the most offensive to me in that whole thing was like he said, "I did it." He's like giving himself, not the fact that he said crackers, the fact that he gave himself all the credit. He's like, and I did it, and I think it was tremendous that I did that. It's like, all right, dude.
So you don't like people owning up to their wrongs, their wrongdoing?
No. He can own up to his wrongdoing. That wasn't the apology. It was when he was actually saying it. He was saying, and I kicked those crackers' ass.
Yes.
Every single day. I did it, and it was tremendous. It's like, all right, dude.
Very braggadocious.
Yeah, it's very, I just don't like bragging.
Yeah. I mean, I said it in a better way.
Braggadocious? Yeah, our fans don't understand that, Andy.
Well,
like, how long does it? I did affirmations. Do you not get it? They don't understand braggadocious.
Sorry.
Are you trying to confuse it? Apologize to them. Look, no, right here is your camera. You apologize to them for trying to talk down to them. Now.
I apologize, fans, for talking down to you. It was Mike's Ritz comment kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I was maybe harboring some ill feelings for that. So I do apologize for those incendiary comments. Shannon?
Look it up, Shannon. We look it up. There's no way. He apologized with a word. He apologized by talking. He apologized to talking down to the fans, and then used a high-level word.
That's
You're
what I do.
playing three-level chess, man.
I run circles around you like Bobby Fischer if he were a lawyer.
I don't even understand that.
Exactly.
Of a device or attack designed to cause fires.
Yeah.
And you did cause a fire
like
here.
Like a chicken at the Pentagon.
Like a chicken at the Pentagon. Pecking. There's some pecking order things going on here. You trying to take over this podcast, Andy?
Goddamn right.
You're making me furious. I used your last name to slam you.
Perfect.
Let's move on. Effective apologies. Was Andy's apology effective? Was the mayor's apology effective? Let's go to the video and find out what it takes to make a good apology.
All right, sir.
Shannon, we're working you.
We all make mistakes from time to time, and nobody is perfect. So learning how to give an effective apology is a useful tool.
Could you stop it for a second,
Apologizing
Shannon?
can rebuild trust.
This sounds like a 4-year-old is telling us this.
Well, we're going to show this video after I give my apology?
Yeah.
I could have used the tutorial beforehand.
No. We're going to see if your apology holds up. Go ahead.
Or even repair a strained relationship.
Yep.
1. Regret. It's important to start your apology by clearly conveying your regret over your behavior, acknowledge the pain, disappointment, or inconvenience you caused, and having empathy towards the person you've hurt. 2.
Shannon,
responsibility.
stop it. Let's go with, what was the first one?
Regret.
Did Andy, you're not, let's go to let's go to the ladies on this
one out.
Shannon and Natalie, did Andy express regret in his apology to the fans?
Yes.
Yes, he did?
Yeah, I would say yes.
2 for 2.
Yeah, I think so.
Did he say the words, I'm sorry? I didn't hear I'm sorry. I'm the guy who never lets him apologize. His apology's never good enough. Did he say I'm sorry? I don't remember hearing that.
I think what for me made it sound the most authentic was because he acknowledged that he was feeling a little slighted by your words, and I feel like that was all that was needed was his acknowledgement.
Okay, Shannon, doesn't that imply deflecting responsibility? I did this because you did this to me, and it's like instead of just regret, like I'm. Here's what regret looks like. I'm very sorry that I talked down to you guys. I did not mean to hurt you, and I am very, very sorry for it. That's what it looks like.
Can I amend? I regret you using the term Ritz cracker to describe yourself. There, I think I covered all the bases right there on that one.
You deflected again. That's another deflection.
I said regret, Shannon. This guy can't win.
He did say the word, Mike.
Thank you.
Let's go to responsibility now, which is number 2.
I go to Jamaica next year.
This means owning up to your mistake and taking the blame. Accept complete responsibility for what you did and the consequences of your actions. For your apology to be effective, you can't try to shift the blame to someone else. Which brings us to 3. Make no
Did Andy try to shift the blame to someone else?
Not initially.
Yes.
In his second one, yes, but not initially.
Tertiary, please, Shannon.
This is the
tertiary
one.
apology? Did he take full responsibility for his actions to the fans?
I think the first time he did.
Yeah.
Natalie?
I think the first time he did too.
Well, we're 2 for 2 again.
Let's go to number 3. Stop celebrating it. You're going to have to apologize for that next.
It's natural to want to make excuses for your actions when apologizing, but it may come off as insincere. On the other hand, by taking responsibility for your actions without making excuses, you will likely gain respect and forgiveness from the person you're apologizing to. 4. Remedy.
Andy
Offer
did
a
not
way to
take.
make-
He did not take responsibility for it.
I'm doing the drawing.
You're doing it now.
Yeah.
But you tried to deflect it onto me. You said the Ritz cracker comment hurt you.
Because I was apologizing
I called
to
you
you.
a sour cream
I was
and
apologizing
onion.
to the fans. So to deflect it off you, go to the fans. It's deflectionist. It goes on one thing to another. You ever played pool? Come on.
Let's go to the last one.
Up
Remedy.
for the damage you've caused. This can be done in a number of ways, such as promising not to do it again or paying for any physical damage you caused. 5. Request.
Okay, Remedy. Are you going to take the fans out to dinner or something?
Yes. There will be a 4-fan limit because of, again, I'm not made of super
You're
yachts.
made of money. You were just in Aruba.
Working.
Yeah, you were working in Aruba. Can you have a brunch for the some kind of a brunch maybe
a
for
light
the fans?
brunch.
They don't get up early enough for breakfast.
It will
but
be.
can
it
you
will
get
be
them
mostly crackers though?
How ironic! How ironic that you would have crackers at the brunch.
Yeah, didn't think of that, but
It's pretty fantastic to have crackers at an apology brunch. I think an apology brunch should be a thing.
Oh,
that's a great way to apologize with eggs and champagne and
Everybody-
mimosas.
Yes.
Mimosa.
For forgiveness. Make it a point to ask for forgiveness. This may seem obvious, but you have to make sure that the person you're apologizing to knows that you want to gain their forgiveness, not just relieve yourself of any guilt you feel. Keep intent.
Okay. Relieve yourself. That hit you pretty hard.
Well, I went before.
Did you go before?
I went before we started.
Okay. Sometimes I have to go in the middle of the podcast.
You're getting older.
But what was that one, Shannon? I have a bad attention span today.
It was ask for
Forgiveness. Did you ask for forgiveness?
Yeah, I believe I did.
Did you do it again? Fans are watching.
Fans asking for forgiveness.
That's how you did it?
No good.
Oh my God. You are the worst. You're the worst apology guy on the planet. You really are bad, Andy.
Steps 1 through 5.
I mean, you're a great guy, but I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that about you. Like that, this podcast has really illuminated.
Well, you know, Mike,
it's really illuminated the fact that I didn't know that you were so bad at apologizing. You're
I'm
terrible.
sorry you feel that way.
I don't
There,
feel
look.
that way. That's a fact.
I feel like all I do is
It's a
apologize.
fact. It's terrible. 56 minutes in, and we're finding out new things about our guest. I just thought every time I see this guy, there's nothing but love and joy. And even during COVID, there was I'd see him, there would be a hug. I mean, my face, we'd keep our faces away because I know that there's all kinds of variants trapped in his beard. But I did not know that this blocked him. This is probably blocking you in your life, Andy. I'm not just investigating for the fans. I'm investigating also so that you could have a better life.
I don't see how it's blocking.
I think you're shutting down now.
What?
You're shutting down. You're playing with the cord. You're playing with the cord.
Mike, I feel like you've shut him down. I feel like you're doing
I
to
haven't
him what
shut
you
him
do to the
down,
fans.
Shannon. I'm asking him to be a better person.
You know what, Shannon?
I'm asking him to be better.
I don't think we need this kind of negativity at the apology brunch. So, sorry, Mike. You're
I'm not invited to
de-invited.
the apology brunch.
You just talked yourself out of it, mister.
Well, I'll tell you somebody else who can't apologize. The Tinder Swindler. And that's a big thing on Netflix. Have you seen it, Andy?
I used to it's the guy you get Happy Meals from.
The Tinder Swindler?
Tinder Swindler.
Oh, that's the
toy.
That's the Hamburglar.
Hamburglar.
Yes, I know. See, I
get
can
him
see how you could
confused.
make them confused. But the Tinder Swindler. Has any of you guys seen this on Netflix?
I have not.
Okay, Shannon.
No, it's in my queue. I haven't watched it yet, though.
All right,
Fancy
so this
word
is
for
going to
line
be
over there.
yeah, this is going to be a spoiler alert. Natalie, you're part of the team. Have you not seen Tinder Swindler? Okay, this guy swindles women on Tinder, obviously, and he runs up a bunch of debt.
Ooh.
He gets them their trust and makes them think that he loves them and that they are a boyfriend and girlfriend. And then he just runs their debt up, and it's pretty crazy.
So this is not a catfish scenario because he is actually...
It's kind of a catfish. He's not saying who he...
He's not a fake person, though. He's meeting them.
No, he's a real person who is a fraud.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Not a frog, for those of you out there who have bad audio. Tinder Swindler and...
No, she's an actress. Tilda Swinton. She have anything to do with it?
No. Tilda Swinton.
Is she married even or single? Is she on the app?
Tilda Swinton?
That's not who we're talking about.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so the Tinder Swindler...
It's confusing.
It is very confusing. He gets women's trust. He dates them, and he passes himself off as a jeweler, like the Prince of Diamond. His father owns this big diamond company.
Jewish.
And Israeli. And he is like the son. And he travels around the world, and he says, I travel because of business. I'm doing diamond-related stuff,
Frequent
which
flyer.
no one gets. No one understands it. Yeah, frequent flyer. But he passes himself off. He stays in 4-star hotels as this big jewel guy. And the reality is he's not a diamond dealer at all. He just is a Ponzi guy. He does this with a lot of women, and then he uses their money to cover debts here and there and all over the place.
And he's a swindler.
He's a swindler.
Now, how does he meet these women?
He meets them on Tinder.
Oh, that.
Yes, and I just
The
saw
rhyme.
this Tinder Swindler.
Gotcha.
And he just recently got kicked off Tinder. I saw that article. And I hate to spoiler alert this for you guys, but we have to play part of the video. And I just spoiled it for you because I just told you what the whole thing was about. So,
not giving him any money back. The way that he unravels at that point, I think, was really shocking.
And you will get the worst fucking enemy you have ever seen in your life. For you and for your fucking family.
I've never felt that Simon was hugely threatening until that point.
okay, so hold it for a second. I watched this with Katie Hannigan, and she was looking at me like, am I being swindled into a 3-year relationship? This documentary was so good, it made her think, are you really who you say you are?
Yeah, that you're playing the long con.
Right.
They call it.
The long con.
Yeah.
So this, but it's really funny because she kept doing this thing. Katie did. I got to give her credit for it. Where it's so funny that when you don't have a good grasp of English and you're insulting someone, you're going, and you will have major problems. And if for every effect there will be a cause, and for every cause there will be effect for you and your family.
Yeah.
And then the next text is, send plane tickets, please. Send plane tickets, please.
Good swindle.
It is a great swindle. So that was him unraveling at 3:30. But Shannon, could you maybe play the beginning of it so our fans have some kind of a idea of what it is? I explained it.
Inside, don't look, don't go, just stay inside, don't open the door. But she's just kind of blindly, opening these credit cards and doing these things.
He got them to take out loans for him,
you do just kind
all
of wanna
kinds of
rip
credit card
inside
stuff.
and just pull away and say, just don't do it, don't do it.
And anytime, hold it for a second. Anytime that they would go after him, he would be like, "My enemies are trying to." He had a bunch of diamond enemies. He goes, "My enemies are trying to kill me."
Well, when you're dealing blood diamonds,
yeah,
you cross a lot of the wrong people.
It seems like it would be dangerous.
I believe him.
My enemies are after me, and the women are like, "Oh my god, I have to protect him."
He sounds legitimate.
He's a great guy. Why I made the Tinder Okay, this is let's keep going with it. This is really interesting. Oh, these are the women who made they made it.
Do you want to watch? I have the trailer. Do you want to see the trailer?
Yeah. I guess that's faster. We are an hour and 2 in. But
I mean, I can stay for the movie.
we can watch the whole thing.
What?
We just watch the whole thing.
Sure.
And
I mean,
meanwhile, while you're here, we'll be emptying all of your bank accounts.
You swindler.
The podcast swindler. The podcast swindler. Let's play
You
it.
can find a bit of everything on Tinder, but one little swipe can change your life.
I only miss you when it rains.
When I first talked with Simon, immediately we had a bond.
When I
He was smart and funny and very impulsive.
I shared my whole heart with him.
And then he asked me if I wanted to travel with him on a private jet. I was like, shit.
He took me to a 5-star hotel.
He said we had a special connection.
It felt like stepping into a movie. And then in the middle of the night, he said there was something he wants to tell me. He said he has threats against him.
He needs our cash.
$20,000,
$30,000.
$140,000?
His life depended on me. That's when police tell me the man I loved was never real. Everything's a lie. Who is this guy I've been sharing the same bed with?
Then I get these threatening messages.
Take my advice. Just watch out.
We have no idea what he's capable of.
It's just been fucking hell. I'm just freaking out.
But we needed to get payback.
We don't know how far this conspiracy actually goes.
It's just the tip of the iceberg.
We had one chance
to swindle the Tinder Swindler.
You double-crossed me? You're gonna pay for it.
That's it, guys. The Tinder Swindler. That explained it better than I could. I was kind of piecing it together.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and I got hacked. My Instagram got hacked. And this probably, it's back now.
Yeah, you think it was the same guy?
I think it could be him.
The Rhode Island Red.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
He could have took my Instagram and probably had sex with all of my followers.
I'm not sure that's how Instagram...
No, it does. They send you a... if they send you a message, that's
not consent, Mike.
It's penetration.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
You are, I think, Andy. I hope you've learned. But the Tinder Swindler, you guys should watch it. Definitely, Shannon, definitely watch it. I don't want you to get sucked in to one of these games because you love danger and you love private jets and you love 5-star hotels. I know that about you. And you're a good person. And I've rifled through your purse, and you have a lot of fantastic credit cards, and I don't want to see you get hurt.
Thanks, Mike. I don't think I would, I mean, I guess these are like famous last words, but I don't think I would fall for bullshit like that online.
She would fall.
Yeah.
I jumped, though.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Splitting hairs.
I think it was a cry for help.
May I ask a few questions? Did the swindler eventually get caught? No, I don't get it because we don't want to spoil anything.
Okay, I can't tell you whether he got caught or not. He got kicked off Tinder, though.
I'm assuming
recently
because he did the 5 steps of apology.
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, I'm doing
something that you couldn't handle.
Well,
Andy, you're very bad at apologies. You're a great guy. You're a fantastic comic. I love you personally, but you're bad at apologies.
Well,
that's what we learned about this podcast.
Apology brunch, everybody, this Sunday. I won't be there personally, but I'll make the arrangements.
Apology not accepted by the fans, I don't think, Andy. You have to do something to make it up to them. Maybe shave your beard. That's something that means a lot to you.
I would do that.
Do you have that beard because you have a bunch of Nazi tattoos on your face?
No.
I have to check. I'm sorry, I have to check I have to check for the
Has other guests had that?
No, but I have to investigate. I have to know what you're hiding.
Fat.
Oh, come on.
Another chin.
No.
A secondary and tertiary chin.
A tertiary chin?
Yes.
Not with all your planking that you did in 2015.
Right. I wanted to look good for the Young Designer of the Year award show.
The Young Designer of the Year. Oh, it escaped me. If only I could build a yacht with a golf course. Well, that was the Tinder Swindler, and Shannon, I don't want to see you get caught up in that.
Shannon, have you ever thought you were being catfished?
There's a few like on dating apps. There are times where like 2 texts in, like my spidey senses go off, and I'm like, this isn't real. And then I say something to them to like require them to prove it, and then they disappear.
Oh,
like name point out all the boxes with a stop sign in them,
Yes.
like something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Pick out the bus.
Right.
There was
Smart.
one guy who was like this Instagram fitness model, and I got a DM from him,
Right.
and he was just like really trying to like get in there, and I was like, there is no way. So I Google image searched the picture and found the real account, which had like millions of followers, and then I just like kind of told off the guy and reported him.
Harsh.
Told him off and reported him?
Mm-hmm.
How about you say nothing to him and report him, but you had to get it out,
Yeah.
Shannon?
Yeah.
Don't you wish you could have said a few words to your hacker?
Yeah, they're not people with feelings and all that stuff. He's just like, he goes, probably laughing at it.
Maybe.
Well, the Tinder Swindler is off Tinder now, so look for him on Christian Mingle. That'll pop up there. I think that's a good way to end our episode. Let's just go into plugs real fast. We don't need to play the drop. I'll just say MikeVecchione.com for dates. Please follow me at Comic Mike V on all social media platforms, and listen to my other podcast, The Macaroni Rascals, available on iTunes with the hilarious Greg Stone. So those are the three things you have to remember about me. MikeVecchione.com for dates, at Comic Mike V on all social media platforms, and The Macaroni Rascals, my other podcast with the hilarious Greg Stone. I like to do my plugs like affirmations. Andy, what do you got?
You can go to my website, andyfiori.com, for all my dates. I have a bunch of road coming up at Andy Fiori on all socials. And March 18th, big day in New York City. I'll be shooting and taping a new album and a special.
Nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Mark
Where?
that down. March 18th, New York Comedy Club on East 4th Street, right here in the neighborhood.
March 18th. March 18th, New York Comedy Club. Andy Fiori tapes his hour.
2 shows, baby.
2 shows.
Apology Brunch, March 19th.
Apology Brunch is March 19th. Andy doesn't do well with verbal apologies. He needs to express it through mimosas and melons with eggs. Shannon.
You can follow me on Instagram at Shannon Lee 6982. Listen to my podcast, The Thing Is, Ding. We talk about bad dates, fighting, and ghosts, and that's also on the Gas Digital Network. Wherever you listen to Mike Vecchione Investigates, you can also watch it live for free every single Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern at gasdigitalnetwork.com/live. That's absolutely for free. The best way to support the show is to go to gasdigitalnetwork.com, use promo code MVI, which will give you a 1-week free trial to this show and every other show on the Gas Digital Network, including brand new shows, Yo MMA Rap with Luis J. Gomez and Dave Smith, Wild Goose with JD DeServio and the one and only Zach Wild of Black Label Society, and Berg's Base with Aaron Berg. All of that is all free for 1 week, gasdigitalnetwork.com. And go to podcastmerch.com for t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs. And if you listen on iTunes or YouTube, make sure to rate, review, and tell a friend. And if you have your own video to submit for an investigation, send it to MikeVecchioneInvestigates@gmail.com. That's it.
Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for being on the YouTube premiere. I went on there last night, and there was a lot of emotion and support for the podcast. So thank you guys for being on the YouTube premiere. It's great interacting with you. Please, we need numbers, so please watch the YouTube. Please download the episode, subscribe to Gas Digital Network, and continue to support the show. I love you guys, as always, and for Shannon, for Natalie, and for my very special guest, the apologetic Andy Fiori. We'll see you guys next week. Guys, thank you for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates. And if you go to gasdigitalnetwork.com and use promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. That's gasdigitalnetwork.com, promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. Thank you again for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates on the Gas Digital Network.